Hey guys, what's up? It's Liz, and today I will be doing a collab with my friend Cortlyn here on YouTube. If you don't know who she is, go check her out. I will link all of her stuff down below. She is the cutest thing ever. I love her so much. I've done collabs with her in the past, and today we're going to be talking about our favorite Halloween movies. Obviously, I had to rock a Halloween shirt, and what better shirt to wear than my Peanuts Halloween shirt, so. But let's get into it because this is gonna be a long video. I should probably make a setup, huh? Spooky season is my favorite, and that's why today we are talking about our favorite Halloween movies or favorite movies to watch during fall. And this is a collab with my friend Cortlyn, as I mentioned earlier. I love her so much, and I'm so glad she asked me to do this like a month ago, but I haven't filmed in forever, so I wanted to get a setup that I actually liked. And I don't mind this right now. I feel like I need some things right around here, but I'll figure that out later. This is just temporary because I also didn't want to set up my lights, so we're using natural lighting today, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, let's get into it because this is going to be a fun video for me, and I'm going to make it as spooky as possible. Let's just hop right in. Number one for me is Hocus Pocus, and that was released in 1993. If you don't know what Hocus Pocus is, I'd be very surprised because it's a very popular movie during Halloween time. Hocus Pocus is about these three witches that were resurrected in Salem, Massachusetts on Halloween night by this child that was trying to impress this girl that he liked because he's new to town. And it's up to these kids and this immortal cat just try to stop these witches from their reign of terror. The Sanderson sisters are the witches that they are talking about in the movie. I actually hated this movie at first. Well, at least while growing up, I did not like this movie at all. I think it was probably about 2 to 3 years ago is when I started to actually appreciate this movie, and I started watching it religiously. I just watched it all year round. It's definitely just a classic Halloween movie that I feel everyone needs to see at least once in their lifetime. It's honestly pretty funny, and I would be very surprised if you guys haven't seen it yet. And I know I can't really say that because there's a bunch of movies that I have not seen. I mean, I made an entire video talking about it, but this is definitely just one of my favorite movies to watch around fall time or just all year round.
So my first favorite Halloween movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas. This was released in 1993. It is an oldie, but it is such a goodie. Like, freaking love it. This is a Tim Burton film, and of course any Tim Burton film is like super creepy, but in the best way. This movie stars this like skeleton guy named Jack Skellington, and basically he's like the pumpkin king of his Halloween town, and he just kind of gets tired of the same old thing, like scaring people and being creepy and, you know, just like the same old thing, the same routine. He gets sick of it, and while pondering what to do about it, he ends up stumbling down to this place called Christmas Town, and he just sparks this amazing idea that he's going to kidnap Santa Claus and wreak havoc on Christmas Town, and he's going to replace Santa Claus. And it's just this really interesting movie, and it's just really good. The thing about it is, it's just like such like a visual, like satisfying movie, and there's songs throughout it. Oh, it's so good.
The next one for me is The Addams Family, or The Addams Family Values. I know there are older versions, but the one I'm talking about is the one that was released in 1991. These con artists are trying to trick this family, the Addams family, and trying to con them out of their wealth, trying to get their money with this person who is claiming to be their long-lost uncle. And I think it's so funny. I love every single character in this movie. They all have incredibly different personalities that just work well together. And I have just always loved it. Like, when I think of a creepy family, my first thought is always the Addams Family. A creepy gothic family, the Addams Family, obviously. It's just one of my favorite movies to watch ever. I even like watching the old version that was made before this one. It's one of the only old movies that I actually enjoy watching. And the Addams Family Values, I love when they actually send Wednesday and her brother, I forget his name, I'm so bad, Wednesday and her brother off to camp, and I think that's so funny. Even when the scene where they're doing the performance in front of all the parents, I think it's so funny. If you don't like watch The Addams Family, I think it's either on Netflix or Hulu, so definitely go check it out if you haven't already. It's great.
So my second favorite Halloween movie is The Haunted Mansion. This was released in 2003, so it's kind of still newer. This is a Disney movie, by the way, but basically it is about this realtor who's played by Eddie Murphy, and this realtor who's like a super big like workaholic and works all the time, and his wife accuses him of not paying enough attention to the kids, and in response to that, the realtor decides to go on a vacation with everyone and just make everything better. On the way to vacation, they end up stopping and going to this mansion that he's supposed to sell, and of course the mansion ends up being haunted, and basically they need to like fix everything and break the curse and like save these two servants that are being trapped there. And it's just a very interesting movie, but it stars Eddie Murphy and it's a Disney movie, and it's just really cool. Obviously it's like they have the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney, and it's just really, I love that movie.
The next one for me is The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and that was released in 1966. So it's basically about, obviously, the Peanuts gang, them celebrating Halloween and going trick-or-treating, and Linus decides to look for the Great Pumpkin. He sits in a field and just waits for the Great Pumpkin to show up. It's kind of this like urban legend for them. It's so funny. The Peanuts gang has always been something that I watched growing up. Like, you know how they would watch either like Winnie the Pooh or Elmo. We watched Charlie Brown. It's like one of my dad's favorite things ever. For Christmas one year, I got him a Charlie Brown waffle maker. Best decision of my entire life because I can make waffles with it now, and that's so cute. And it's awesome because we always have movies for every single holiday. So every year we would always just sit down and watch one together, like on every holiday. It's become like an annual thing for our family to just sit down and watch these movies together because it's just very homey. And I don't know, it's just a feel-good movie that puts us all in a good mood. It's just kind of like our time to enjoy one another. I love Charlie Brown. I love Snoopy.
My third favorite Halloween movie is the movie Twitches. This was released in 2005. It is another Disney movie. Basically, this movie stars two twin sisters, Tia and Tamara Mari. In this movie, the two girls who are teen witches are actually separated at birth and then adopted to different families, and by their 21st birthday, these two girls realize that they are witches, and they find each other and they reunite, and it's just one of those like movies where you're like, yes, yes. And basically, they come together and they realize they're witches and they need to just save the world from the darkness. It was scary when I was little, but now it's like really, really good. And I remember just being obsessed with this movie, and I loved this movie, and I'm pretty sure they need to bring it back to Disney because they haven't played it in a while.
The next one for me is a Harry Potter series, basically, and that was released in 2001. So, Harry Potter. If you don't know what Harry Potter is about, what are you doing? It's about this orphan boy who finally learns that he is actually a wizard and goes off to Hogwarts, School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and he learns how to control his powers and just learns more about everything of the wizarding world. One of my favorite things ever. There's so many things in my room that have to go with Harry Potter. It's insane. Harry Potter is always a movie that I will watch during the fall time. It only feels right during fall. I watch Harry Potter a lot more during the fall than any other season just because it's moody and it kind of gets you into the Halloween spirit because it's just about witches and wizards. So good. If you haven't seen it already, you should go check it out.
My fourth favorite Halloween movie is the movie Edward Scissorhands. Again, this is another Tim Burton film. I'm sorry. It's actually released in 1990, so it was an older movie, but this movie is about this guy, Edward, who's played by Johnny Depp. Edward is basically created by this scientist, and he has scissor blades for hands. And in the process of being created, the scientist actually dies. So he can't like fix him, and Edward is now this walking, talking human being with scissor hands. And this woman finds him and kind of like brings him home with her. And in the process of that, Edward actually falls in love with her sister, who's played by Winona Ryder. So it's just a great movie. It's really awkward and interesting, and it's good.
The next one for me is Scooby-Doo, and I'm talking about the live action version, obviously. And that was released in 2002. So obviously at the beginning of the movie, the mystery gang breaks up, and then this guy lures all of them back and kind of forces them to get back together to solve the mystery of whatever is happening on Spooky Island. I love Scooby-Doo. It's one of my favorite TV shows growing up. Charlie Brown and Scooby-Doo were like my main two things that I watched when I was younger. I just love everything about this movie. I thought the plane scene was hilarious when Scooby was dressed up as grandma. So funny. I just think it's hysterical to think that no one noticed that he's actually a dog. Definitely one of my favorites to watch during fall time. I also like the second one too. I have both of them on DVD, let's be honest. I'm like actually a child at heart. But yeah, Scooby-Doo has always been one of my favorites to watch during the fall time. It kind of just has that mood, and there's always like a bunch of creepy like people and characters that are on these shows that are like causing mischief. I think it's just perfect for this time of the year.
My fifth and final favorite Halloween movie on this video is Monster House. This movie was released in 2006, and basically this movie is about these 3 kids who are terrified of the house across the street from them, aka the monster house, and basically they're trying to convince everyone that this house is just like got this demonic creature inside, and it's just like it'll eat you up, like you can't go on its yard, you can't go, you know, inside, like this house is just bad news bears. But the ending is really, really good, and it has such like a feel-good, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's just like it really humbles you at the end, because it's not at all what they thought it was or what they were afraid of. It's something completely different, and it's actually kind of sad. So I definitely recommend checking out that movie. Anyways, those are all of my favorite Halloween movies. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you, Liz, for helping me with my Vlogtober collab. I love you, and yeah, bye guys.
Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thanks again, Cortlyn, for wanting to collaborate with me on this video idea. I love Halloween, so this was perfect. Thanks again. Make sure to go follow Cortlyn on her YouTube channel and go watch the other video we did on her channel. It's going to be the other half of this list and her video, so you can see the full list for both of us if you watch both videos. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I put videos out 1 to 2 times a week, and you can follow me on any of my social media sites at Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, or Snapchat at Zbethian. It's the same way spelled on every single account. I hope you guys have a great day today, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I can't do that anymore. It's so far away.